What's going on, guys? This is Hayden Cook. Today we're going to be going over usability. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So what exactly is usability? Well, basically, it is the ease of access and use of your website. How well I, the user, am able to access the features that I want on your website and be able to traverse your website very easily. And then officially, it is, basically what I just went over. But now is the time in your website design now is when you want to start working in tandem with each other, the UX and the UI. And I'll bring this up. I think I bring it up like every slide, but it's a key factor that you just want to start narrowing down and start hardening that I need to have these two things working together and no longer not against each other, but just I need to have them start working together now more naturally. So let's take a look at it. The three main foundations of usability are: how easy is it for the user to become familiar with your content and competent within it? How easy is it for the user to achieve their objective within your website? And your user interface should be easy to recall from the user standpoint, and they should be able to replicate their experience upon multiple visits. So the initial user, from the first time they log on to your website, the first visit, they should be able to easily navigate your website and find the content they want to find very easily. And your website should allow that user to achieve their objective very naturally and very easily within your website. And the user interface should recall certain design standpoints, color schemes, shapes, icons, if you want, and that should allow the user to know that every time they continue on your website and they traverse other pages, that they will be able to know where they're at and navigate to the next page very easily. When we take a look at usability, we have to take a look as a user experience factor. And what user experience we'll just kind of take the simple terms on that. User experience is basically a div, and then inside that div we put a paragraph of usability in, and also inside that div of user experience we can also put other paragraphs like look and feel, and you can call that user interface if you want, excuse me. But user interface is a little bit more different than that, but generally speaking, that's what it is. And in order to achieve max usability on your website, the user experience must start moving in tandem with your user interface. Again, I know I repeat that a lot, but that's one of the key foundations as usability, as a user experience factor. It has to work in tandem with the UI. If the UI and the UX don't work together, the user is not going to be able to use your website, and it's just going to turn users off, and you're not going to get visits to your website. A key factor in usability is ease of access. Good examples of that are Google, Facebook, and Twitch. You're easily able to access all the features from the website very easily through recalling navigation very easily, through traversing the website very easily, and just you spend less time on the website finding where you're at and more time utilizing the website, and that's what you want. And every time you visit the website, you're able to retain the information you learned from your previous visits, and you can apply that to your next visit and say, okay, I don't need to spend time looking for things because I know where it's at, and you just instantly do what you want, and allows all those factors to play in tandem with each other. A resource to start looking at now would be Google Analytics. It doesn't necessarily track the features that we went over, but it can help you track time spent on the page, how quickly a user goes from page A to page B, and are they clicking the right links that you want them to click, things like that. And then if they're not, you need to take a step back and say, is my UX causing this? Is my UI causing this? That allows you to take a look at those factors, and I think Google Analytics will be covered in one of the other topics this week. So familiarity is another key aspect of usability. The user should be able to be familiarized with your content from visit after visit. And in order to achieve that, you want to make sure the UI grabs attention of key features to your website. You want to make sure the UI will say, okay, this is the header, this is navigation, this is the input field, this is the submit button. You want to have all those features stand out so the user is familiar with that content page after page and visit after visit. And it should also be easy to navigate your website. You want to have the user spend more time utilizing your website and less time finding their way through it. Again, you want to have the familiarity of the navigation. You want to make sure, okay, the color schemes match page after page and they can find what they want. And another pillar of familiarity would be repeating key designs and color schemes, and that will allow the user to easily navigate the website. Just repeating the same things over and over again. I know that kind of sounds kind of ludicrous, but on a website, you want to have those features. You want to repeat things over and over again because you want the user to feel comfortable, familiar, and you want them to return. And so those things need to work in tandem with each other. And then another key factor in usability is recall. Can the user, recall all the information and aspects of your website every time I visit it? That will allow positive user experiences, that will allow faster usability of your website, and that will in turn lead to higher traffic volume and possibly higher revenue when you have all the recall information working in your favor. And again, the recall information should be simple. Repeating the nav, repeating the header, repeating the color schemes throughout your website, repeating certain icons throughout your website. All of those will make the user feel comfortable, and they'll allow them to easily traverse your website and recall that information faster upon multiple visits. And so another thing you can help in terms of getting your website to the usability standpoint that you desire are checklists. You can find these online. This is just one I found through Google. It covers just load times, text to background contrast, which we've kind of went over, errors, which there should be none, but sometimes that comes up. Emphasis on text and things like that. The navigation, can the user identify things very well? Just things that are just naturally, the user just naturally traverse your website easily, access things very easily? Can they see things very easily? And will they be able to return? And that's what you want. You want the user to find what they want, do what they want, and return. Now is when you start looking at, we can look at usability resources to help us get our websites to the usability standpoint in which you want. One that I found was WebPage FX, that deconstructs your text and allows to see, do you have too much bloated text? Is there not enough information for certain things? Is there too high-level words? It also gives you the levelification of readability for the website, which is very important. You want to make sure that your website has enough information so the user feels like they're getting information, but you want to also make sure that the user can understand the information that they are being given. So is the reading at a level to which the user can understand it? And so you want to make sure those two things kind of level out, and the user can feel gratified in what they read but understand what they read at the same time. And Google DevTools is a great resource. We'll take a look at it just real quick. We've done multiple things with Google DevTools up to this point. Let me launch it real quick. We'll do Screenmatic actually. So we've done console, sources, network, and a few other things, elements. But now we want to look at the audits right here. And then if we click Run Audits, and what that's basically going to do is going to check all the things that we've been checking up to this point. And it does it relatively quickly. Is it mobile friendly? Does it work on multiple platforms? Is there any errors on your website? Things like that. Is your JavaScript load times too long? Is your CSS load times too long? Things like that. And then it spits it out and it gives you all these great metrics to look at. Speed index, all these things that you can look at and just get more details about. They're a little bit advanced once you start looking into them, but spend some time here, you look over these things, you follow the Google learn mores and things like that, and you'll be able to understand what all these do and just help you get your website to a usability standpoint in which you want it. And then the third one that I found was tools.pingdom.com, and that's a great tool. It kind of does like the audit tool on Dev, but it does a little bit more in depth. It does your CSS time and your JavaScript times and your JSON times. So how fast those are running, if they're too long, if you need to consolidate some JS and make sure that the web page load times are down, and just great stats all around. But that is it. I hope you guys have learned a little bit more about usability on the websites. So the user needs to be able to recall information. They need to be able to traverse your website easily. And what was my third one? Let's go back real quick. Ease of access. That's the wrong one. Familiarity, ease of access, and achieve their objective within your website. You want to make sure those are all working in tandem with each other, and that will bring your usability level to a level that which you find acceptable and is acceptable for the user, so they can traverse your website and do all the things they want to do, and retain multiple visits. So I hope this has explained a little bit better for you guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks.